Tijdens onze talkshow maken we nader kennis met een aantal van onze spreeksters. En een dame die straks nog het podium zal betreden zit nu naast mij. Haar achternaam laat ik even voor wat het is. But your first name I think I can pronounce. I'm gonna just let the last name slip. But nice, I'm so happy that you're here with me. You spoke yesterday already in Amsterdam during TEDx.
Yes.
How was that experience for you? Because it was your first time.
To me, it was a good experience. Actually, the way after I did my talk, seeing people standing up, which I'm told it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen in most of the time.
Yeah.
So I was so happy because I knew what I said. At least I inspired a good number of people.
Yeah, you touched a lot of people because your talk, during your talk, you talk about breaking the taboos that surround female genital cutting.
Yeah.
Condoms, sex, everything that has to do with sex and women.
Yes.
And you do this in your hometown in Kenya.
Yeah.
And obviously we all have this vision, and we can imagine how hard it must be to raise these issues in your culture.
Okay, what I'll say is just like, I didn't know maybe it will work. So I keep on, as I said before, it's like I was fed up seeing so many things that I don't like happening. And now it was my time to see that female genital cutting is there. But what are we going to do instead of doing it? But what we do in alternative rite of passage, it's more or less the same thing in FGM, in female genital cutting. The difference is, in alternative rite of passage, the cut is not there, but the ceremony is there, and then we have a workshop for 3 to 4 days. We bring girls from my village together, they talk, we tell them the disadvantages of FGC, and then after that now, the last day we do it as a ceremony. We call elders, they bless them, the Morans, that's a group of young men who are going to marry the girls, so they also have to be there.
Let's take a clip from your talk yesterday at TEDxAmsterdam and see what it feels like when we see you on the stage telling your story.
My parents were ripped away in 1997 and 1998, and we were left orphans. Our secure home was no more home, moving from one family to another, finding life being difficult. Had to believe not belonging to any family turned up to be a blessing to us. Escaping two of my painful things in life, that's forceful marriage and female genital cutting. My sister, for the first time we escaped with my sister at 4 a.m. in the morning, because that's now the time they do the cut. But for the second time, when we went back home, we were beaten and we promised not to do it again. So the other time I managed to escape alone, but my sister was not lucky.
Your sister was not so lucky.
Yeah. Because, the first time we escaped with her, it was very early. It was very early in the morning, that's 4 a.m., because that's the time they do the cutting. After we escaped for the first time, the second time when we wanted to do, she was like, I'm just tired of the beatings, and that's why she didn't have guts to escape again. So I managed to escape alone, but her, she was unlucky. She wasn't able because she was tired of the beatings, and then we promised not to do it again.
What does it take for a young girl such as yourself to stand up against the elders in your community and talk to the men and convince them that your alternative is just as powerful and does exactly the same thing without harming young women? What did it take from you to stand up and face the elderly men in your community?
I decided to stand up because when I was growing up, I used to see many of my girlfriends suffering. When they do the female genital cutting, girls of your age set have to be there watching you. They see if you are going to cry, you know, you are not supposed to cry because you are being called a coward. And then when you cry again, there is no man who is going to marry you from that community. And then I used to see many of them bleeding too much, that many died. I was so sick of seeing it. And then others were having difficulties when they were giving birth. So I just saw that there is a need for me, at least, to make change.
What made you see that? Because, you know, I understand that even a lot of women think that the traditional way is the best way.
Yeah.
What made you realize that this is not right, especially not for you?
Because, you know, like for me, it's because, as we know, I think in my community, it's a man's world. So, like for us, we are just there to be seen, not to be heard. So I saw that it is important, even if it is difficult to face this group, but I saw that there is a need, because we can't make change without involving the others, that's the men and elders. That's why I decided to go to the elders. Elders are old people, old men in my community, and they are the ones who make decisions. So I saw that it is important to go first and talk to them, and then I tell them the importance of maybe...
What makes them listen to you?
There is a training that I went, that is in the back 2008. It's being sponsored by AMREF, the Nomadic Youth and Productive Health. So they are the ones who chose me to go to that training. So after I went for the training, I got a lot of skills and knowledge on the disadvantages of female genital cutting and also early marriages. So I told them, I was told whatever I got there, I don't have to keep it for myself. I have to go back to the community and then give it out. So it was not easy for them to accept me, because, you know, in my community, women are not allowed to address men. But they keep on telling me, no, we can't allow that. But I keep on coming back to them. I go and say, what plan can I try again for them to accept me? So I just go home, I decide, and then the next day I still follow them. It took them time, but I told them, if I can't talk to you, the only group I want you to call for me is the young men. We call them Morans. Morans are men who are mid-teens and mid-20s, since they are the ones who are married.
You need them to support this decision. I have to cut it short with you, but the good news is we'll be hearing from you later today during your talk on stage, so we have to leave it here for now. But I thank you so much. Applaud you for what you do, and I hope you find the strength to keep on doing it as long as it's needed.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Nice. Thank you.